Welcome to the next level with Keith, where clarity replaces confusion and simple systems lead to real freedom. Every episode begins with intention, music that centers your mind, lifts your spirit, and prepares you for transformation. This is your space for growth, your place to reset, your moment to rise. Rethinking your thinking, because when you shift your mind, you shift your money. Stack and grow, where small intentional steps turn into lasting wins. Simple strategies, real progress. Your circle, your currency, because your network matters. Mobile money moves, business, income, and empowerment from the device in your pocket. This isn't just talk, it's guidance, it's strategy, it's movement. Welcome to the next level with Keith. Let's begin.
Yeah. Yeah. Last 53 years we know Knicks never had this kind of flow. It's like an anomaly for sure. So many got it wrong how it would go. Win after win in a row. In Madison, under lights that glow. Offensive, defensive, crossover and dunking. Layups and passing, perfected the flow. Spike Lee, blockbuster. They came to one of the greatest shows. Championship, we got it. Championship, we won it. Hey, do it. You know. Championship, we got it. Championship, we won it. Hey, do it. You know. Yeah. Blue and orange running through the place. Every doubter left with a stunned up face. Every pass hit clean, every screen held tight. Every steal turned fast in that heat of the night. Got the whole garden shaking in the same old way. From the first loud on to the final save. Offensive, defensive, crossover and dunking. Layups and passing, perfected the flow. Spike Lee, blockbuster. They came to one of the greatest shows. Championship, we got it. Championship, we won it. Hey,
Patrick Ewing.
Championship, we got it. Championship, we won it. Hey, they said wait your turn. We said watch us go. Every step got louder. Every bucket stole the show. Hands up high now. Feel that garden glow. One more time for the city. Let them all know. Championship, we got it. Championship, we won it. Hey, do it, you know. Championship, we got it. Championship, we won it. Hey, do it, you know.
The next
Welcome.
level, the next level, the
Next level.
next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level with Keith. You landed here and it's no mistake.
That's all right. You can cut it. That's all right. We can get into it right away. Yes. Let me say happy Monday for those who are now in Monday. Hey. And I'm excited. Welcome to podcast episode 24 and counting. Episode 24. This is season 2. And we're looking at what? Number 3. I'm excited. Yeah. You see me in my orange shirt, so you know what time it is. You know, the New York City area, or you would say the tri-state area, you know, it's made up of Queens and Brooklyn and the Bronx and Staten Island. I'm telling you, folks, it was a pandemonium this past Saturday. I mean, you could feel the ground shaking when the Knicks won out in San Antonio. And the fact is that I was thinking, I wonder what would it be like if they had won here in New York City. I mean, folks were just going crazy. All right. I mean, I saw some clippings and they were climbing walls and breaking things, and it was just amazing. Emotions, a lot of emotions were turned loose that night, and a lot of folks who were slightly inebriated, they were slightly intoxicated. Some of them were fully intoxicated and did some wild things. So you have the emotions, and then you have the added things, added chemical working. It could be serious. You know, I think at one point the police just kind of stopped and watched and say, I hope it doesn't go beyond where it's supposed to go. But with that being said, the fact that the Knicks had a drought for 53 years, that was the last time they smelled a championship. And for those who have been Knicks fans and have watched the game over the last number of years, all the ups and downs and the ups and downs and the big start out and the finishing part where they can't seem to close out the games. It seemed like this team seemed to start out slow, but they're a good closer. They can close it out real good, right? But anyway, it's an exciting thing, and I think that me being a New Yorker for so many years, it's pride. You feel a sense of pride and that you feel a part of it. And what made it interesting for me is that I came in a week before last week, and when I came in from an event, and I think I mentioned that on my last podcast, and it came from a late event. When I got home and got myself prepared for bed, lay down, and a few minutes afterwards, I just got this idea to write a song in celebration for the expected to win Knicks. That's what I was thinking, right? I'm thinking they're gonna win this thing, all right? And so I'm like, let me just put this song together. And like I said, folks, I've been talking about my approach to things and why I want to make it easy for those who see value here and who want to align with me here on my podcast and the mission that I'm after. And that is to empower people, bring about simplicity, and to touch the age who feel that it's beyond me and I'm not sure if I can make it happen. But the song says, we want it, we want it, and we can all win it. But the point is that I thought about the fact that many years ago, I wouldn't be able to do something like this on my own. All right. It would require me to have the funds to hire engineer, hire producer, and do certain things, maybe hire certain musicians, right? And it would take time and it would take a lot of effort and it wouldn't have been such a rapid thing. But I'll stress it again, like I've been stressing on my previous podcast, that because of technology, because of the time we're living in now, the access, how things are becoming more user friendly, we can tap in, utilize the technology, and make things happen that normally wouldn't be able to do so. So what I did, I've been practicing using AI. So it wasn't the first time I decided to use AI. So I didn't know that I would have gotten this feeling to write a song in celebration for the Knicks. I didn't have that knowing. I didn't know. But one thing I did what I could do when I could do it. And what I could do was practice, was do little steps. Remember, we talk about, pods all the time. We do little by little, step by step. It's not to be overwhelmed with all this stuff, but gradually we talk about learning one skill per day. Try something different one day. Expose yourself to something new one day. And that very thing could become one of the most dominant forces in your life and can really impact you in such a way that you'll be surprised that you were able to do something that you probably thought you could never do. So the fact is that I've been practicing on AI. I've been learning some stuff, so I knew how to utilize it in a way to get what I wanted, and so I did. And good riddance, as they would say. I did somehow predict the song because it was released. It was released before the next one. All right, it was released, and I don't mean one day before either. All right, because when it was released, the next game, the next play, they lost. All right, so I did believe that the Knicks were going to win. Yeah, I thought they wanted more. Again, they wanted more. They showed that they really wanted this thing. They fought for every last ounce, and you saw it. All right, you saw it, and so you know this whole Knicks series and the game to me can be an entire lesson that we can pick from, we can draw from, and say, you know what, where do I see myself in this whole process here, as far as uh taking lessons and actually not just taking lessons, but actually utilizing the thing. All right, make the thing become practical. Take it from the take it from the theory part of it or the theoretical aspect of it and make it become practical. And that's the aim of this show. Now, again, episode 24, and the title is Emotions. He emotions, she emotions. Emotions, he emotions, she emotions. And yes, it's a very unique title. I'm pretty sure you might say that. But you think about emotions, it's a very powerful thing. It drives things, I mean, to the heights of heights and bring things to the lowest of lows. Emotions can be such a powerful force that if we're not careful, we can destroy our lives, we can destroy our future, we can destroy our families, we can destroy so many things. And at the same time, we're looking for emotions a lot of times to make something happen. Looking for that emotion to make things happen. Do you know how many people right now who's in jail because of one day their emotions got out of control? Could be a friend to a friend, enemy to an enemy, spouse, husband to a wife, wife to a husband, mom to daughter, daughter to mom, father to son, son to father. Emotions erupt sometimes, and when we see the after effects, it's pretty scary. But tonight is not about making you feel scared, and it's not about making you feel petrified. It's another reminder that you think about emotions. Sometimes we rely too much on that to make things happen, right? We rely too much on our emotions to make things happen. And that's what I want to address tonight. All right. Motivation is not a financial plan. As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, I don't believe that I can motivate anybody. I may be able to inspire you, but I believe folks can motivate themselves based on what they hear. Because I myself, I would say I'm very self-motivated, right? Once I see the thing and I see where I can see me being effective doing it, then that's all I need. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be self-motivated about things. and it makes a difference. Now, some things, if you're not motivated about it, just be honest. A lot of things you just don't feel motivated about it, but you know you have to do it. Like you wake up this morning, a lot of us, and we have to go to work, and we're thinking, man, do I have to get up and go to work? You feel so unmotivated, so uninterested. But it's no, you say, you know what? Because of practicality and logics. Well, I do have my car payment to make. I do have to, be responsible for my work. I don't want you to call out for this call not sake because I may really get sick or something may really happen, and I may need those days for real. So let me not take a little feeling and stay home. So a lot of folks say, even though I feel unmotivated, I'm gonna still go to work because that trumps it. That is more sensible or practical for the long-term goal of what you're looking for. Correct? So let me ask you something. And before I begin, let me say again, thank you for joining in with me tonight on this podcast 24. I always appreciate you guys. Again, I'm seeing some uptick in some questions that I've been asked. I'm seeing some responses here that's pretty cool, and I'm liking. I want to see more of it, and I really want you to actually give me some feedbacks on the hubs, what you discover, what you like, what you don't like, to let me know that you're actually getting deeper into what's happening here, so you can extract more from it. Now, before I begin my segment, I want to highlight something here because it's critical. Uh, we there is a video or some information in one of the hubs that I want a lot of you to check out. Those of you who may have parents or folks around who are seniors who are dealing with Medicare. I talk about family protection, and I'll get there later on, but just want to give it out early so you can know that this right here, I'm finding really important information that will affect our community and can affect our community in a very positive way. And it's a very important company that's addressing folks who are dealing with Medicare, who are looking into Medicare, because there's a lot of fine prints and things that are, people out getting duped and not really getting the best. And the company have a number you can call. It's about a 20-minute conversation, and they can find if what you have is the best of what you have, or you may need to change that to another better plan or better thing as far as the Medicare. So it's in the Family Protection Hub. So let's mark that, and you know it's while you're watching, and I'll get back there later on. But that's a very hot topic because right now it's a really big issue in the health care world, the Medicare, and how many folks need to know what's going on, see what they have, make do some comparisons, and get the best care possible. Anyway, with that said, let's talk about something very important here. And I'll talk about again the title. I talked about what? Emotions, he emotions, she emotions. All right. Now, let me ask you something. How many financial decisions have you delayed because you didn't feel ready? How many? How many financial decisions have you delayed? You said, listen to me, I'm gonna chill. I don't know. I'm not feeling this yet, but I'm just waiting to feel ready. Well, guess what? You knew you needed to save. Have you started saving yet? You knew you needed to protect your family. Have you attempted to do so? You knew you needed to build another income stream. Oh, that's very important. You know that based on what's going on right now with the economy and how companies are laying off and moving things around and shopping things and how AI is really dominating the market now, right? You have not looked at a second income stream. You knew you needed to do so. You're waiting on something. You knew you needed to learn some digital tools. You could start off small, All right. Why haven't you? But guess what happened? Guess what happened? You are waiting. Waiting for when? Why? All right. You're waiting for motivation. Is that what it is? You're waiting for confidence. You're waiting for the perfect emotional push. But, you know, I've had moments where I've gone down that road and I've made mistakes and I saw where it was very costly. But today I want to challenge that thinking. You see, because emotions are powerful, emotions are not a financial strategy, however, right? Because emotions are powerful, but guess what happened? Emotions are not financial strategy. Feelings change. I mean, you've heard the stories. They said about 50% of marriages end in divorce. And before they got married, you ask the person, why are you getting married to this person? And I would say, because I'm in love with this person. I love this person. Oh, my goodness. I'm in love. I'm feeling this love. And now the divorce. You ask them what happened. I don't love him anymore. I don't love her anymore. The feeling is not there anymore. Emotions. All right. Feelings change, right? But guess what happened? The bills don't change. The bills don't change. They don't worry about feelings. They're coming. Dreams don't build themselves. And your family's future cannot be placed on hold until your mood catches up with your responsibility. Come on, folks. No way. It's not going to happen. This episode is called what? Emotions? He emotions. She emotions. Why? Because we all wrestle with that thing. A lot of folks say, well, women are emotional. Women are so emotional, and men are not. That's what a lot of people say. But if I was to discourage your thinking, I would say men do exert emotions. Men have emotions. It may be displayed differently, it may look differently, but we do have emotions. You know, someone said that, I heard someone said today, I'm not sure exactly the person who was saying it, but that men, when it comes to the need for sex, is not a want for men, it's more of a need. I think I heard it on a some short clipping. It was very powerful. So for him, the need for sex is not just because he wants to have sex, but for him, it's a major part of bonding. He feels bonded to that woman even more so. Not only that, but he feels a sense of security, a sense of wholeness, a sense of um, there's a sense of connection, connectivity. All right, with that woman, and so that's for sex for him is not just an act. All right. Now the woman, on the other hand, tend to want to feel the emotions before she engages. How do you make her feel? All right. And so the man doesn't need to feel it. He wants to know that if I have it, I will feel it. When I get it, I feel the emotions. The woman said, when I feel the emotions, then I'll go for it. See, it's kind of interesting how that works, right? Interesting dynamics. But anyway, I digress from that idea. The point is that because whether you are a man, a woman, a parent, a spouse, a business owner, a worker, or a dreamer, I'm saying it again, whether you are a man, a woman, a parent, a spouse, a business owner, a worker, or a dreamer, if you wait until you feel like building your future, you may wait too long. Today, we are not chasing feelings, we are building systems. And if I can say it even better, we are joining systems because sometimes in the reality is that they are builders. They're folks who can build things. They are gifted that way, and they're folks who can come together and join that process and build and work along with that that building system or the system that being built rather. All right, and help to enhance it and make it become alive. All right. So let's look at our thinking here. And this is an ongoing thing for me. When I say rethink your thinking, when I think about that saying, rethink your thinking, it's an ongoing, never ending process and probably should be that way because as long as we're alive, we can learn something new every day. All right. We can try something new every day. It could be something simple. It doesn't have to be something crazy and outlandish, just simple shifting and adjustments here, and it makes a difference. So we think you're thinking is an important element. And here's the first truth. Motivation is temporary. Systems are dependable. Most people don't fail financially because they know nothing. That's not why they fail. They fail because they delay what they already know they should do. And I would add can do. Is one thing to actually not be able to do something for whatever reason. But when you can do something and don't do it, then that's a whole different level of just self defeat. And I think you want to be in that state of living. All right. You see, they know they should save. They know they should reduce debt. They know they should plan for retirement. They know they should protect their family. They know they should develop income producing skills. But knowledge without action becomes regret, and regret is expensive. You know that. And maybe you're watching, might have had some regrets. I know I have. And for me, it's a bittersweet thing. There's been regret, but I'm glad I looked at it and say, you know what? Because I'm actively engaging in trying not to repeat the cycle, the regret becomes a fuel and a an anchor in saying, I don't want to experience that again, or I don't want to have that behavior again that produced that outcome, and how I'm looking for the future, looking forward to what can be done because I'm changing my activity and I'm becoming proactive in actually, you know, creating the outcome of what I want to experience. Money is a very funny thing. And I've seen many people look at money as a kind of I would say vain thing and almost like don't think about it too much. Don't don't invest too much into money, the concept of money. But I'll tell you something. In life, if you want to be the best basketball player or tennis player or soccer player or the best businessman or businesswoman, whatever area of life that you want to excel in, it requires time, 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 effort, diligence, consistency, never quitting, work. It requires uh, ongoing wanting to just keep growing and learning in that area. All right. And some people go as far as seeking out other people who are expert in that area, research, they do extra things to make sure that they're grounded in that particular area so they can be masters of it. All right. At least when they speak, they have some good sense of what they're saying and not just saying words. And so the same thing is required if you want to be money. want to have good success in money and good success in the area of how to handle finances, it also too will require time, thinking, effort, training, learning, and folks may think that folks may think that you're vain or you may be too unspiritual because you're learning and you put yourself in spaces where you can master this thing. All right, because it's a tool, and if you can use the tool well, then look at what the outcome could be. All right. So as you mentioned about financial um, success or the desire to achieve it, one of the most common financial regrets among adults is not saving or investing early enough, not because people didn't care, but because they waited. Because a lot of people right now, when it comes to money, time is a major factor when you start. All right. But also, if you didn't start early, what else can you do? Because some folks are able to buy back time. They're able to actually do things that give them back 10, 20 years of their lives because of how they were open to readjust some things. All right. If something that you didn't put in place in your 30s or 20s, and now you're trying to do it in your 50s, 60s, the same kind of approach, it's kind of late. So at this point, a lot of us right now that I'm talking to, you can see a change in your life financially, and I believe significantly within 2, 3 years from now. Like significantly within 2, 3 years from now. And you may say, that's long. Really, is that a long time? 2 years from now? If you think about it, think about somebody working for 30 years, 25 years before they retire. All right. And a lot of folks, when they retire, they're not that happy. Many people retire and do a part-time job because they're not happy with their retirement pension. It's not enough to cover what they would like it to cover. So a lot of folks, they do a part-time job. Where I work, I seen people was in their 70s, can hardly move, hardly get around, hardly climb the stairs. I see it in real time, and they're working extra shifts, extra weeks and months because they don't have what they would like to have after retirement. They feel like they're falling short financially. Pretty scary stuff. So they waited for a better season. Some do. A bigger paycheck, a cleaner schedule, a stronger feeling. Back to feeling again. Back to feeling again. A stronger feeling. But money grows best with time. The earlier you begin, the more compounding can work for you. That's true. The later you begin, the harder your dollars have to fight. That's just the reality of it. So today, we think you're thinking. Your future does not what? It does not need your feelings to cooperate. Oh, it needs your action. It needs your decisions to become automatic. You know what you got to do? You just make it happen. You step out. And I do commend some of you who have responded to me, and you've left some comments. And I've been saying for a while now that I would like for you to actually give me some feedbacks on the hubs. All right. I would love to know that you've gone in there, you've seen it. If you felt confused, say what it is. If you felt it was clear and concise, say what it is. If you wanted to find something and it wasn't there, let me know. All right. You can always leave a message and note. I'm open for that. In fact, I love that kind of thing, that kind of interaction where folks engage because that really is the key. And let me know where you're at. I'm sorry, let me know where you're at, and that way I can do more things to make sure that the audience get what they're looking for to make it easier to navigate or to get that next level of of growth, be it financially or otherwise. All right. So I said last week on my podcast that a lot of things I'm putting in your face. I'm not going to try to make it become mystifying and unclear, at least to me anyway. And if you feel that's not clear enough for you, please let me know. Don't be afraid. All right. So we're looking at passive income hub. All right. And let's stop waiting for confidence. Let's start building assets. Can we do that? Let's stop waiting for confidence and let's start building assets. Let me tell you what happened to some about 2 years ago. A young lady, good friend of mine, we know each other for many, many, many years. She lives in another state now, and she called me one day, I think 2 years ago, and said, "Hey, I'm doing this investment here, and if I get someone to join me and become a part of this investment, then I will get a certain amount of, commission on that." And to me, it was no big deal. I was looking to do that kind of investment there, but I said, you know what, to help out a friend, I'll just invest something small. And I believe it was like maybe $12. Added $10 or $12 was to invest. I think that was monthly. It might be monthly, I think. And believe it or not, I forgot about it. I forgot completely about it. But I did help her to get that bulk of commission that she was thankful for. To make a long story short, I think like a month or two ago, I got an email, I got a message, I checked it out. I'm like, where did all this money come from in this thing? It grew like the point where I'm like, wow, what happened here? I didn't know, but that small thing I was doing over time, it seemed insignificant. It wasn't much. I didn't feel that it was doing anything extra, you know, out of my paycheck or my kind of monthly payment thing. But it was so cool to know that after looking at it now, I'm like, wow, they got a little something there. That's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And I can probably maybe get some insight on how to make that grow even more. But that's what I'm trying to really, I would say, really share on this program here. I'm really trying to show folks that, listen, folks, it's the small steps. It's not the big steps I'm trying to overwhelm you with, but you've got to be able to start. And I think that's where most of us we fail. We fail to make that step. We say, well, it's the job or it's the kids or I don't have time. And then we assume that it's gonna be this and we assume it's gonna be that. And we don't know that with each passing day, we're only delaying our own progress or our added potential to make that solid income that we're looking for anyway. All right. So the point is that it was really, really cool to actually see that. So let's talk passive income, all right? We know passive income is not something that fall from the sky, come out of thin air. It's not magic money, right? It's not overnight wealth. It is said that most business, that's just what I discovered, it's about 3 to 4 years before they really say, you know what? Yes, we're now stabilized and I can start seeing the returns of my investment, my time, all right, 3 to 4 years, roughly, to say yes, I can start recouping because there are costs for to get involved with certain businesses. It's sometimes even your time, you may not seem like you're getting paid, but it is time. There is a price on that, all right. And the people who know to actually pay themselves, they have record of the time and they work every day, right? Even their own business, put a time. I work from 8 to 8 or 8 to 5 or write it down. And when you write it down, you give yourself a pay a pay rate, right? Give yourself an income. Write it down. Write it down. All right, because one day you may have something that someone wants to buy, And if you want to buy what you want to sell, where to find the value? How would it come by the value? But when you have it written down, the time, the hours, the investment, all right, all that's time, that's money, that's value. It's important. And so, looking at passive income, it takes two little things to get things going. All right, I say it's not pressing the one button and waking up rich. No, it doesn't work that way. Passive income connected to an asset, a system, or a structure that can keep working after the first effort is done. All right. You do one thing and you get paid over and over and over again. I always say the bills are passive, so should your income. All right. That could be what? A digital products, affiliate income, online courses, dividend paying investments, rental income, licensing music, books or creative work, membership communities, automated services, print on demand products. Now, as you heard early in the program, the song that I wrote in celebration for the Knicks. Now, before I released it, what I did was that I actually had it correctly or loaded on the right platform and with the right credits and the right kind of things. So, if there's some future kickback, some future benefits, then it can be done correctly, and I can benefit the most from that. You know what I'm saying? Some things what you do, it may not happen right away. It may happen a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now. But you do the thing, you put it out there, you don't wonder and thinking and delaying, you just put it out. Let things gotta put the seed in the ground. Some seed, when you put it in the ground, you may see the thing budding in a week. Some may be in a month. But once the seed is there, all right, eventually the right temperature, the sunlight, you have rain, you have the right condition, anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right. And so you talk about passive income, and I talk about that in my hubs. And again, some people don't understand the power of someone going to do the heavy lifting for you. All right. Many people can go online right now and type in and Google search and type in homemade business. And I'm telling you, you'll see 1,001. You walk away probably confused. You can type in side hustles, home home business, and I'm telling you, folks, you walk away more confused if you're not careful, especially if you're a newbie. I'm not saying to you and you're not to try to do that because maybe you want to try to see how it feels. All right. But when you have someone who have gone down that road and can curate the type of product that is for people who are extremely busy, perfect. You could be a single mom with kids, perfect. You could be a truck driver and you're away from your home 2, 3 weeks at a time, perfect. You could be a pastor leading two services in the church, perfect. You could be a college kid who is as his first semester in school or maybe last and said, listen, it's very a lot going on here. I'm pressurized. It can be perfect because someone here understands and I've gone through that journey. I mean, I've had the 1, 2, 3 jobs already with the family, working in another state. I know what busy looks like. And yes, active in church. So not like I say, well, I take Sundays off after a full days of week a full week of working and that kind of thing. So I know what that's like to be active for 7 days, for 6 days. So when I put this together, I'm telling you, I know that is from experience and it's to make you a little lighter. Not without effort. but lighter. All right. Here's the problem because sometimes, we've got to solve issues because folks sometimes don't understand that at the end of the day, it's about solving problems. But here's the problem. Many people never start because they are waiting to feel confident. That is a problem. They're waiting. So many people have an issue with procrastination, but confidence usually comes after action, not before it. Sometimes after you take that action, you start saying, "Oh, wow, that's interesting." Now, I'll give an example. I shared this program with someone a week ago, and a week later on, I shared it again, but I didn't check before I shared it again on what might have been some changes. I just assumed it was the same 7 days later on. And when I opened the thing in front of the person, I was a little lost. I was like, oh my God, what happened here? I mean, it was for the better because it was actually, it was actually more impressive and exciting, but I was a bit lost because some of the language had changed and where things were. And so because of that reason, I'd say, you know what, let me try to be a little more engaged, right? At least before I do certain things or share certain things. And yes, it worked out okay still, all right? And I called someone and asked them if to see what I'm seeing as well. And they too was like, oh my God, I didn't notice that. So it was a good surprise, but then it let me know, listen, you want to be engaged. Sometimes it's not the amount of time, it's just a small time that you get to know, so you know how to best operate with something or proceed with something, especially if you want to be effective in giving out information to somebody who is new or you want to share it with them, something that can impact their lives. You don't want to be there, scrumming around looking like you're a bit lost if you don't have to be, right? So the person who starts with $25 a month is already ahead of the person who keeps saying 1 day. I mean, I see folks would buy a meal every day. I mean, heavy meal. I've seen it with my own two eyes many, many times. I mean, I'm thinking that bill is at least $20 for that meal. That's one meal for the day. And I'm saying, how much are they paying per week, per month, per year? And the same person would have a hard time saying, if I do something with $25 or $20, how far could that take me? I'll tell you, you'd be surprised how many people came to this country with $100 in their pocket and with the right idea, the right action taken, they're now multi-millionaires. All right. And the thing that I'm trying to really to promote or even share is not all this big money and be wealthy and rich. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm saying if you could double your income right now, some of you making 5,000 a month, 4,000 a month. What would it be like to double that income per month? What would it feel like? How many more choices would you have? Right? How many more people you could help? Right? How many more things you could do for yourself, your own personal, growth and your own personal enjoyment or your own personal self-actualization. How you feel about yourself. All right? The person who creates one small digital product is ahead of the person with 10 ideas in a notebook and no offer in the marketplace. In the marketplace. I'm gonna read it again so you can hear it. Very powerful. The person who creates one small digital product is ahead of the person with a 10 ideas in a notebook and no offer in the marketplace. The person who learns one platform, one tool, one skill, one system is actually moving. There is progression taking place. And movement what? Creates evidence. Evidence creates what? Confidence. And confidence creates momentum. Folks, it's all in the mix, I'm telling you. And uh, last week I talked about an activity, but believe me, you can follow with the on the blogs. They're in the hubs. All right, check out the hubs. They're there. So it's not to let you know that that is forgotten. All right, and so looked, but you can take the action. You can do the initiation and take that initiative and go check out these things. Check out the Freedom Resource Hub, and you can check out these particular activities, and it can help to strengthen you and refine you and build you up. What I'm saying, that's the idea. Um, there's some practical passive income starter plan. All right. So there's some problems, right? But also want to give the problem solution. Want to offer some solution for the problems. Practical passive income starter plan. This week you can do this week. All right. Try this. Try this week. All right. When it comes to knowledge asset, teach something you know. Create a checklist, short guide, mini course, or template. Path two. So path one is knowledge, because knowledge is an asset, right? Teach something you know. Create a checklist, short guide, a mini course, or template. Path two, creative asset. So turn music, writing, designs, quotes, recipes, or tutorials into products that can be reused or sold. I talked about what I did with the song. Idea came, I didn't sleep on it. I took action. I made effort. I did what I had to do. I made a plan with the studio, have it done, all that stuff. It takes that kind of initiative, right, to make it happen. And now here it is. And I love to do it again. The song can play over and over again. Someone called me yesterday and said, Mr. Merritt, I love that song. Guess what happened? I know this person, I know that person, I know that person. I can get it to this DJ and say, hey, I said, thank you, God bless you. But the person wouldn't have anything to work with it if I didn't put anything in the person's hand. All right. So that's kind of how it works. Path three is investment asset. So we talk about first one is path one. I mean, is on knowledge asset. Then we have creative asset. Now we have investment asset, and that start learning about index funds, dividends funds, retirement accounts, or high yield savings. Begin small and stay consistent. I also have access to that world as well. People can head with investments and that kind of thing, and index funds and dividends and retirement accounts. I have networks into that area as well. Reach out, connect with me, and of course, I can point you into some directions. Community assets, which is the fourth, build a membership support circle or resource group around a need people already have. So what? Build a membership or support circle or resource group around a need people already have. All right. Don't try to build everything. Build one thing. Right? That's one thing. Then improve on it. Then repeat it. All right. That is how small systems become freedom machines. And I believe uh, what you're looking at here with this network here didn't always look like this. And if you talk to the designer behind this network and design the system here, it went to it morphed. It wasn't like this at the beginning. And she talked about how the idea came and she was open to what? Tear things apart and do things again and keep building and keep whatever and look what we have. And this is not the end. There's more to come. That's a beautiful thing. And so we talk about these things. We talk about the passive income hub. And then we talk about the family protection hub. The family protection hub. And I'm going to revert back to what I said earlier. about the Medicare. A lot of folks right now, we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s. Our parents are in their 70s, 80s, some 90s. And so, therefore, they may be dealing with those issues now. And there might be issues and there might be questions and answers that need to be received. All right. Folks are looking for answers, but there is a program that's designed specifically with a toll free number where you can call and you can get the correct information on what you have now. Is it the best for you based on where you are, or should you try something different within that area by experts? All right. So again, family protection. I talk about legal protection. I talk about the fact that some things you don't do it because of an emotional feeling, or even the fact that it may cost you something, is what you're doing with that thing. And I told you about the story I had when I was going to Florida with my family. I got pulled over by the police, and based on his word against mine, he said this could be a misdemeanor. I went to Florida. I didn't sweat. I didn't panic. I drove back to New York. I called my legal representative. It's in the Family Protection Hub. I called them and they said, Mr. Merritt, we'll find you a representative in Georgia. And they had someone on the case. To make a long story short, I was called not so long after that, saying, Mr. Merritt, the case is being dismissed. All is well. Just be careful on the next time around, whatever that is. And I can give you many different stories when I reach out to them, and it took away so much stress off me, not sure what this letter means, what is a lawsuit thing, what is this. Sometimes it prevents you from trying to find a lawyer to spend all this money to retain someone or to have a consultation or to have this big money for something that you probably didn't need to go to because you get that prepaid protection that you have a chance to do in bite size. Right? Small amount, less than a cup of coffee a day. It'll cost you less than a cup of coffee per day. It'll cost you. And you can have legal representation, get answers to so many different things in so many different areas without so you can know how to proceed and move forward. All right, that's in the Family Protection Hub. In the same hub, I talk about other things that related to what? Oh, health, protect your family. All right, and different areas. So again, I'm just trying to encourage you that is not there just to sit idle by and not have you, you know, gain from it. All right. So the Family Protection Hub is that your family needs a plan, right? And the plan prevents panic. Now let's talk about Family Protection Hub or family protection. A lot of people say, I love my family, right? I love my family. But love without preparation can still leave people vulnerable. Family protection means making sure your household is not one emergency away from chaos. Family protection means making sure your household is not one emergency away from chaos. It means asking hard questions before life asks them for you. What happens if income stops? What happens if medical costs rise? What happens if someone passes unexpectedly? Happen all the time. What happens if identity theft hits your household? What happens if your children need support, education, or emergency help? As a matter of fact, let me just give you a little addition on the identity part of it. There is also a product that's in the Family Protection Hub that they can use to actually help you to guard the information online. It can spot phishing sites and fake sites and help to guard you from exposure to what? the crime that's taking place online. And it's a lot of it, especially now with the economy and the rise of AI. All right. So you want to look into Hub and see that particular product that can help you to protect your information as you navigate your way on the online space. Be it on your phone or a laptop or a desktop. All right. It's online. It's an open space. A lot can happen there. All right. I want to go into the dark web. I'm talking about here on the, well, call it the light web if you want to call it the light web. The light what we use every day. All right. Uh, as far as just standard email, Google, whatever we go on and search. Right. So we're looking at some very important thing that we want to put in place when it comes to family protection. It involves an array of different things and different areas. All right. This is not a fear-based thing and a fear-based question, right? These, I believe, are wisdom questions, and I think they're very relevant, and I think they, are very timely. And I hope that you are picking up what I'm putting down to protect yourself and your family. So, family protection moves. One, schedule a family financial review. Put it on the calendar like a doctor's appointment. All right, schedule a family financial review. Once every quarter, review what? Your income, expenses, your debt, what you owe, your savings, what you save, insurance, the policy, and see what's going on with those things. Important documents, digital accounts, family goals. I did say in one of my podcasts that you can actually try to get a like a it's like a firebox, right? It protects your important documents. You can buy it online or places like Costco, BJ's, and different places you can get those kind of things. One big enough to put important documents. So in case there's a fire or something that you want didn't expect to happen, at least those things will not be destroyed. Right? So this is not a tip. I'm just reminding you again. I did say it in a few of my podcast. All right. So looking at once a year, try these things. Income, expenses, debt, savings, insurance, important documents. Check and see all that do they need to be renewed. Some people have their passport maybe expired or expiring. All right. You may think about traveling, may want to look to that and getting taken care of. Family goals for the year that you may have in mind. If it is not scheduled, it is easy to ignore and forget. Two, automate the first step. Don't wait until you feel disciplined. Automate discipline. Set up automatic transfer into emergency savings, right? Retirement accounts, investment accounts, debt repayment, family goals, funds. All right. So you know what your family is like and how you guys, can navigate this. It's a very personal thing. There's no one size fits all. Everyone knows their household and what they would like to have and what they want to achieve. But again, this really about getting started. If it's just one thing, do the one thing. Because you may hear a big list, but it's not to make you overwhelmed because some people they have all this right now. Some people have everything lined up because it's important to them. But it's maybe new for you. You may say, "You know what? Let me try one thing. Let me try look at my debt. You may say, let me try look at my savings. So what's going on there? You may say, let me look at my documents. That kind of thing. All right. Set up automatic transfers into what? Emergency savings, retirement accounts, investment accounts, debt repayment, family goal funds. Guess what? Even $10, $20, $25, $50, $100 a month creates movement in the right direction. Small money with consistency can build serious stability over time. I can tell you over the last number of years, I've had emergencies and I couldn't turn to anyone because everyone I turned to just didn't have it at the time. And I had to revert back to my savings. Amazing. and pull things out to get myself going. So I know what I'm talking about. It's very important. Three, create a family emergency folder. Every household should have one place where important information lives. Include what emergency insurance policies, bank information, emergency contacts, medical information, all right, password instructions, legal documents, property documents, business information, funeral and final wishes. Now, some of these I have in my mind to work on. And I got a lot of work to do myself. Okay, so as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. This is a great reminder for me as well. Some things I went and started already, so I'm going to continue and add on, do more. And I think it's very important. It gives a sense of peace and just not this erratic, crazy kind of experience that we can end up having if we caught off guard or caught unprepared. It can be very devastating to us and to our families. So we should really think about these things. So this is not being negative or pressuring. This is what I call love organized. This is love organized. That's a new term. And looking at four, protect against digital threats. Today, protecting your family also means protecting your digital life. Use strong passwords, two-factor authentication, credit monitoring, scan awareness, secure document storage, regular account reviews. A family can work hard for years and lose ground quickly because of one preventable digital mistake. Protection is power. Looking at what? Or digital training hub. You don't have to love technology to use it. A lot of us say we don't like technology, and I'm kind of one of those who really have come a long way. I've resisted technology for a long time, but thanks to some people in my life who allow me to I would say be encouraged and inspire me, and they really motivate me in the sense of the fact that they don't give up on me when I pretend when I acted kind of doubtful, and they were really there to support me and say, hey, if you make one step, I make two steps. You make three steps, I make six steps. And those things were very helpful to me to even get to this point where I'm online trying to make it happen. So let's be honest. Not everybody is excited about AI. All right. Not everybody wants to become a tech expert, and that's fine. You don't have to love technology. You just need to stop letting technology leave you behind. All right. There are adults in their 40s, 50s, and 60s learning how to use digital tools because they understand something. Skills protect income. Technology can help you write faster. I've experienced that. Learn faster. I've experienced that. Organize better. I've experienced that. Research smarter. I've experienced that. Create content. Yes, that's me. Manage business tasks. Helpful to me. Track money. Build digital products and communicate professionally. That's for sure. You don't need to become a techie. You need to become practical. Three simple digital moves. Use AI as a learner partner. Ask AI to explain investment, budgeting, marketing, or business ideas in simple terms. That's a very simple way of approaching it. You can say, AI, I don't know much about investment. Can you take me from the basics? Can you let me learn it as if I'm in the eighth grade? Can I break it down in simple terms? That's it. That's an idea. Two, use AI as a planner partner. Let it help create a savings plan, content plan, family budget outline, or weekly productivity schedule. It can do all that stuff for you. And you can even reach out to get help as well. Sometimes you say, I can't do it, but if you're in the right network, guess what happened? Be done. So there's really no excuse. It's really about you making the moves. I said again, there really is no excuse. It's about you making the moves. That's the route in me right there. All right. And so looking at some real cool things that can take place when folks really take this step and learn that digital stuff in bite size. All right. Right. Use AI as a practice partner. Use it to what? Rehearse emails, business pitches, custom service responses, or financial conversations. The goal is not to replace your wisdom. The goal is to multiply your effort. All right. Um, yeah, again, you know, this involves what reading, right? It's a big part of it, y'all. So looking at the growth reading circle that I talk about, it's a way of feeding our minds, feeding our mind. Very, very important. And it's very healthy as well. Scientists prove that reading is a very important thing, and we should always try to engage our minds in reading. When people do not feed their minds with growth, fear fills the empty spaces. That's why learning matters. Read one book, listen to one podcast, take one class, study one financial concept, learn one digital skill. All learning. See, because your future income may depend on the quality of information you expose yourself to today. A family that learns together prepares together. A person who keeps learning stays harder to defeat. The next level help centers are very important for what I do. Right? We're not building here by ourselves. We have a family. We have a network. You've got to use the network to your advantage. Leverage it, y'all. It's very important. Here's another truth. Isolation makes procrastination easier. All right? Isolate yourself. All right? When amongst people are moving and shaking, it can rub off on you, it can stir you up, it can get you going. All right? It's so cool to actually get yourself in that space. So don't build alone. When nobody knows your goals, nobody checks your progress. When nobody challenges you, comfort can keep winning. That's why accountability matters. You need people who ask, did you save this week? Did you research that opportunity? Did you update that document? Did you complete that course? Did you take the next step? Not people who shame you. Not about that. People who sharpen you. Support is not weakness. Support is strategy. All right. And my biggest need of all is take action. You've heard, now you take action. You've listened, you've heard, now it's action time. Build a big why that outlives your mood. Build a big why that outlives your mood. Someone asked a question, how big is your why? If your why is big enough, you won't need any kind of emotions or motivations to get you going. It'll be automatic. The secret weapon is not hype. It is not pressure. It is not emotional excitement. The secret weapon is a big why. Why do you want financial freedom? Why do you want it? You know why. Is it to help your children graduate with less debt? For many, that is what it is. Is it to protect your spouse from unnecessary stress? That's a good one. To care for aging parents? To travel while you still have health and strength? To leave something for your grandchildren? To stop living one emergency away from panic? Those are important questions. Why, excuse me, when your why is stronger enough, action becomes identity. When your why is strong enough, action becomes identity. You stop saying, I'll do it when I feel like, and you start saying, this is what I do because this is who I am. So we have a 7-day logic over emotional or emotion challenge. It's just a 7 day logic over emotion challenge. For the next 7 days, do one logical financial action daily. Right. So for the next 7 days, do one logical financial action daily. Day one, check your subscriptions. You might be paying for subscriptions that you didn't know and wasted money. Cancel one thing you don't need. I think that's pretty much is a giveaway. You don't need it, it should be canceled. Day two, automate one savings transfer. Automate one savings transfer. Day three, write down your emergency fund goal. What is it? You want to have X amount in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year. Research one income stream. And like I said, if you find something out there that works, you find something that's good and solid. If not, there are things here that's curated for you. Check those hubs, the passive income hub, and you will be pleasantly surprised. Take the Check the family protection hub. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. All right. Learn one AI or digital tool for 15 minutes. Day six, organize one important family document. Day seven, write your big why and place it where you can see it. All right. So 7 days, seven actions. No emotional permission required. All right. Just do it. Just do it. All right. I think you really will start seeing that, you know what? Action really speaks louder than words. Final thoughts. Imagine yourself 3 or 5 years from now. You had access to the information, you had access to the tools, you had access to opportunity, but you waited. Imagine, because it's going to pass by. I did something a year ago, and my God, it's the most joyous thing I've done just about a year ago. And it's like, man, what if I didn't start? What would I have missed out on? So I know what I'm talking about. I started just about a year ago, and I'm very happy with what I'm seeing now. I'm thinking, if this is a year, what would 2 years be like? What would 2 years look like? Man, let me just move on here. Let me just move on right here before I get too excited. All right. So again, imagine yourself 3 to 5 years from now. You had access to the information. You had access to tools. You had access to opportunity. You had access to a network. I'm saying again, you had access to a network, but you waited. You waited to feel motivated. You waited to what? For the perfect time. You waited until fear disappeared. But fear did not disappear. Bills got bigger. Time moved faster. Opportunities shifted, and your family still needed a plan. That is the emotion we are trying to avoid, not fear today, regret tomorrow. So don't wait for feelings. Start with logic. Start with one transfer, one document, one skill, one conversation, one income idea, one small step. Because you know what? Because your future self does not need you to be perfect. Your family does not need you to be fearless. They need you to begin. They need to start. This is the next level with Keith, where we don't wait for motivation. We build systems. We protect families. We create options. We move with wisdom. And we take action today so tomorrow has something to thank us for. Again, folks, I've said quite a bit. And I hope that you picked up a lot of what I put down here today. I think this was another unique uh, podcast. And I myself, I'm going to extrapolate from it myself and see what I need to improve upon because I'm always growing too and learning as well. But again, you folks who come here week after week and have been doing so, I want to say a big thank you for stopping in, checking me out, and I want you to know that you can share this information. And again, I want to get busy with the hubs. All right. Again, thank the engineer, the producers, those behind the scenes who really are the ones who are making me look so good here. I'm so excited sometimes when I see what they do with the background images and how they post stuff online. And I'm just talking like I always like to do. But again, I'm so appreciative of all of you guys who stand by me. And my hope is that you will take these particular episodes and maximize it. Who knows how long I'll be around as far as online. I may just go some other areas. All right. But for now, I'm hoping that I will connect with you and I'll get as much of you as possible going to the next level. And something that you can share with me. I'm open, share it with me, hit me up with the messages and we can grow together. So again, thank you again for being here on the next level with Keith. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode, episode 25. And thank you again. God bless you. Be safe. And I say, next, we did it. Next, we did it. 53 years, we did it. Next, we did it. 53 years. God bless you all. Thank you. And I'll see you next time.
If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey. Music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.